friends, it's Justin Adkins here for Scrapbooking Cards today as a part of the 12 Days of Holiday Giving event. I have a fun holiday treat box to share with you using the House Treat Box shape dies from scrapbook.com, Cozy Sweater Stencil, and the Caroling Mice stamp set from Lawn Fawn as well. We're going to get into some die cutting right away. So to start, I have the green textured canvas cardstock from Lawn Fawn, and I am going to die cut two of the base dies from the House Treat Box shape dies from this one piece of cardstock. By carefully lining everything up and tacking it down with cement tape, I am going to be able to get two pieces for the base of our House Treat Box. In addition, we're also going to want to get some window elements as well, so we're going to use the white wood grain cardstock, also by Lawn Fawn, and I am going to die cut out a bunch of the window shapes from this paper. As you can see, I line everything up and I tack it down with mint tape once again, including the door frame, the square window, round window, and arched window. When everything's said and done, I have 4 rectangular windows, 2 round windows, 2 arch windows, and then also 1 door frame from the white wood grain cardstock. Next, I'm going to pull in the brown textured canvas cardstock and pull out a mid-tone of the brown paper to use for our project as well. I am going to die cut out the door shape that's going to fit nicely into our white wood grain frame and get that ready for later. Next, I'm going to pull in the mixed media paper pad from scrapbook.com and grab just 1 panel of black cardstock from this. I am going to end up die cutting the scalloped edge for the roof 8 times, and then we are also going to use the snowflake glitter pops of color to add a little bit of embellishment to the scalloped edge. I thought because we are layering black on top of black that it would be really hard to catch all of the detail with the scalloped edge, so adding the snowflake glitter pops of color is going to give a lot of nice detail work to the roof of our card. Pulling in the Cozy Sweater Stencil, I do want to stencil a pattern onto our house, and what I'm going to do is put it inside of a splatter box and spray it down with some pixie spray. This is a little bit of a delicate stencil, and the light tack from the pixie spray is really going to help us in making sure that we're going to get a great grip from the stencil onto our paper. I'm going to mask off the bottom edge of one of the house bases with some inch mint tape, and then I am going to place the Cozy Sweater Stencil on top. Using a blending brush, I'm going to bring in some pine needles distress ink and blend it over the Cozy Sweater Stencil onto one of our 2 house bases that we have die cut from the green textured cardstock. Now keep in mind, I'm only going to be showing you half of the stencil work, as I'm only going to show one of the bases. You will need to do this for both of your house bases to make sure that everything lines up very nicely. As you can see, I've got everything all stenciled off, and I did want to add a little bit of an inked blend edge as well, so I'm going to use that piece of mint tape once again, add some pine needles distress ink, and distress each of the edges of the box. Now, when I say edges, because this is a 3D die cut, I did want to make sure to distress the edges where we're folding the box as well, just to help give the continuity to all of our shading and blending. So I'm going to reposition my mint tape so I can do the smaller portion of our base house die cut and just continue blending along the lines of the edge of the house. Here you can see everything is just getting a nice darkened edge with our pine needle distressing, and it also helps to blend up if there might be any small little imperfections from the stencil work as well. I'm going to pull in the Fresh Duo Smooth cardstock from scrapbook.com, pulling out the yellow paper and using the lighter side. With a pencil, I am going to trace each of the windows that we've die cut for our house, as I want to use them for the back side of the window so that they have a nice warm yellow glow. So like I said, I will do this with each of the pieces that we've die cut for the windows, and then I will go ahead and fussy cut them out. I will use some liquid adhesive on the back of the window die cuts that we had prepared with the white wood grain and layer it on top of each corresponding fussy cut piece. Using a T-ruler, I do carefully put each of the windows into place, trying to keep them as evenly spaced as possible and also as level as possible. The T-ruler really comes in handy for this, but also if you lined up everything correctly with your cozy sweater stencil, you can use that as a guide for your project as well. I'm going to put the round window on the top of the pointed piece where it has a little bit of the roof eave, and I'm also going to put our white wood grain door frame directly below it. This piece I consider the front of house portion, and then the other base piece is going to be our back of house portion. Using liquid adhesive, I'm going to put it inside of the door frame and then take our die cut brown door, putting it nicely inside. I think that the brown door pops really nicely with all of the white framing going on. Next, I'm going to use the back side of our house base piece, and I am going to use my T-ruler once again to line anything up. And here you can see these are the sides of my house. The rectangular windows are nice and even, using that T-ruler as a guide. And then I'm going to lower it very slightly and use the arch windows for the back side of the house. I just thought that the arched windows would add some really nice detail to the back side of the home, and it sort of complements the front of the home having the arched doorway. I have a round window that I will be using right underneath the opening for where our little treat box holders will go in. And then we're also going to start the process of putting all of our scalloped roof edges into place. Of course, make sure that your snowflake glitter pops of color is nice and dry. And then I'm very carefully layering each of them one on top of another, trying to maximize the space between each of the scalloped pieces so that there's no green peeking out from underneath, but that it also goes pretty close to the top of that handle. And this is going to work really nicely for our home. Now, don't forget, we do have two pieces that we're working with, so you can actually put these pieces side by side and layer up the second panel. Now I'm going to die cut out all my colored up caroling mice images, and I do have all of my OLO marker combinations listed for my mice down below. I'm also pulling in the fall treat box add-ons because I just want this little wreath that's included that I think is going to add such a nice little detail to our project. I colored up a bow specially for the wreath from the Caroling Mice stamp set, and I adhere it directly onto the wreath in a nice light blue color. I'm going to adhere the wreath to the front door of the house, carrying on that green color from the house as well. And then I'm also going to go in with a bone folder and begin reinforcing all of the fold edges for both of the base pieces to our house. This is going to make it really easy for everything to bend as it should when we're putting the house together. I am using a bone folder from Lawn Fawn, and it is a very good quality bone folder that I use as my go-to anytime I need one. So just make sure whatever you're using has a nice firm edge so that you can go ahead and get all of these edges folded and reinforced. Now that we have all of our edges folded, it's now time to add some of our colored up images with foam tape to our house pieces. So I am using 3mm foam tape from scrapbook.com that fits really nicely on each of our images. And I'm sort of spreading out all of the little mice that we've colored up. I also am using some light posts on the back side of the house as well that I put some little blue bows. They're the same bows I used for the wreath, but I did color them a little bit darker. I'm going to pop the little mouse sitting on a bench image right between the two light posts, and I'm going to put the caroling mice on the side that's to the right of the mouse on the bench. I'm going to put a couple little music notes above the mice as well, which is a perfect touch. And then I'm able to put some liquid adhesive on one of the tabs that's going to connect both of my house bases together. What I love about this house treat box is that it's really easy to figure out on your own how everything goes together, as it's incredibly user-friendly. I'm going to start to see how everything sort of falls into itself, and I do decide that I'm actually going to use some 1/4 inch tape for the reinforcement of the rest of the sides. This is 1/4 inch double-sided adhesive tape from scrapbook.com that I'm going in and I'm adding for all of our sides. So I'm going to remove the backing and then just start to fold the house into itself, essentially, one side at a time, folding in the double-sided tape that's on the tab that's going to connect the walls of the house, and then I just sort of add a little bit of extra pressure as well. I decide to fill up my treat box with some holiday kiss candy, and they fit so perfectly nestled inside. Once I'm done, I do have some hemp twine from Lawn Fawn that I'm going to use to tie just the cutest little blue ribbon on top that's going to give our house just some fun little detail that I think that the ribbon pulls in. And with our bow in place, our holiday treat box is fully completed. I love how all of these caroling mice set the perfect scene for this adorable house treat box, and I just love this green, blue, and white and black color palette that we've selected to really make this pop for the holidays. You can fill this with whatever you want, and I'm sure you can come up with some really fun combinations. Now, if you haven't already, don't forget to like and subscribe. You can also follow me on all socials at Just a Note by Justin as well. Thank you so very much for stopping by today. I wish you all very happy holiday crafting, and I'll see you real soon. Goodbye.